saying no. Saying no to our close friends. How do we do that? More about that right after the intro. Welcome to the Day One Journey, episode 214. Cha-ching. Yeah. So if you remember, last episodes, we already talked about saying no. And saying no is part of the priority series. Because at least for me, when I say no to one thing, I say yes to other things. And what are these other things? These are my priorities, the things that are most important to me. You see, saying no is part of the thing. It's part of the package. When I want to do something, when I know what my priorities are, and I want to spend most of my time and energy on them, I need to say no to other things. Because my energy is finite. My energy is limited. And this, by the way, last episodes and this episode is about me sharing with you my thoughts, especially about my third value, my third priority, energy. So part of putting energy as a priority, I need to say no to other things because my energy is limited. But saying no, especially to my close friends, it's not that easy. It's difficult. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want them to feel bad. So how do I do that? And this is what this episode is all about. I will show you just an example how I communicate that to my friends. And I will use a similar idea. I will use the same idea from last episode about how I make saying no a little bit easier for me. The idea was making decisions beforehand. Meaning, let's say I have some project or something that I want to put as a priority. I make that decision. I put it as a priority. And then, when in future occasions, when friends or other people suggest me to do other things that might be fun or exciting, I already made a decision to put something else as a priority. So it's easier for me to say no because I already want, because I already know what I really want to do. But today I want to share with you a specific example how I communicate that to my close friends. So I think it was about a year ago that I decided not to go out at all for at least 6 months. I know it's a little bit harsh and pretty extreme, but this is just an example. So you can think about any other decision that you would make in your life. But back to the example. So I decided not to go out at all for the next 6 months or so. And still, it's about my priorities. I made this decision because I wanted to work on my projects that are the biggest priority for me. One of them was related to this project, Day One Journey, me talking to you right now. But either way, I decided to put my projects as a priority, going to sleep early, waking up early every day, including weekends, and thus decided not to go out at all for the next 6 months or so. Again, not even weekends. Now it's the point that I want to share with you. I communicated that to my close friends. The next time I talked to them, I just shared that with them. I shared that decision I made not to go out at all, at least for the next 6 months, so they know. I'll also share with them why I do that. As close friends, I want them to know. And that's the thing, then 2 weeks after or so, when they have an idea and they want to go out and they want to offer me to join, they already know that I already made the decision to work on my priorities. And since I'm important to them, I guess my priorities is also important to them to an extent. So they can understand me when I say no. So first thing, they might not even share with me that they go out because they already know I made my decision. And if they do, because they might forget about our conversation, then I can just remind them. I can say to them, remember we talked 2 weeks ago and I told you that I'm going to work on my projects and I'm not going out for at least 6 months. And then they understand. And then they also know it is not about them. It's not that I don't want to go out with them. It's just I made a decision not to go out at all. So this is my idea. This is how I put myself in a comfortable situation for them and for me to say no. Because I communicate my priorities beforehand. So they know it's not about them, it is about me. And thus, it is easier for them to understand me without them or me spending too much energy about it, because I talk to them beforehand. And this is the key thing I want to share with you today. Communicate to your friends. If you can, consider communicating your priorities and the things that are most important to you to your friends, so they can understand you much, much better. This is at least what I'm doing. But when you think about it, sometimes you want to say no, and these are not your close friends. How do you communicate that? Well, we'll talk about that in tomorrow's episode, I promise. But back to you. I have an interesting assignment for you for the day. Think about one area in your life, one thing inside your one area in your life that you want to make a priority. Let's say for the next 2 weeks, 1 month, even half a year. Maybe it's about your health, maybe it's about your nutrition, your training, maybe it is about your work or your relationships. Just think about one thing that you want to raise the level of priority. Think about that thing and then communicate that to your close friends. Just tell them, from now on, I put that as a priority. So then, when you talk to them afterwards, they would already know that you put that specific area and that specific thing in your life, you put that as a priority, so they can understand you much better, even when you say no to other things. So do it today. Think about one thing in your life that you want to put as a priority and communicate that to your close friends. Do it today. And of course, have an amazing day one. See you tomorrow.